Hello everyone. Ta Louise Atlantang, Talalan, the Gaspé district of the Mi'kmaq Nation. My name is Louise Atlantang. I'm a French-Acadian Mi'kmaq Métis, and I currently live in Waterloo, Ontario, which is lands within the Haldeman Tract Agreement. And I am here today to give a tribute to an outstanding woman who I was always so inspired by, the beautiful Carrie Lester. Carrie and I first met in Toronto during the Line 9 processes. And Line 9 was a pipe that never had consent to begin with, even with its first approval processes. And when the hearings began in London, Ontario, I saw this concern voiced by Ruby and Floyd Montour, who showed up at the first NEB hearing for Enbridge Line 9 in London, Ontario. And they showed up to tell the NEB directly that they were not reasonably consulted, that this pipe was being railroaded through this process, and no one was properly informed. And the NEB discarded their concern and left the room. And at that point, I grew aware of the issues surrounding the treaty rights and this particular pipeline. I know here in Waterloo, nobody knew of it. Our local council members, a lot of the people were unaware of this pipeline's project happening in our area. And it took people like Carrie to help raise awareness of this to the national level. And the way she did that was with her drum and her passion. And nothing demonstrates this more than the Enbridge Line 9 hearing that took place in Toronto. We were at the convention center in Toronto where the NEB hearing was being held. And delegate after delegate had spoken. And there were areas of synchronicity taking place even within the hearing. I was speaking of structural risks and how there were a lot of flaws in this particular stretch of pipe. And the particular area between Cardinal and Montreal had been the focal point of Adirondack to Algonquin, a group that was presenting. And they said the highest number of fault lines occur in this corridor. And it correlated with my research that was done independently, talking about the earthquake fault lines. And so it was beautiful to see this cohesion happening of all the individual concerns and complaints and all being raised at the NEB. But the focal point I remember the most was when Amanda Lickers was presenting and making the allegory of how the pipeline consultation process was akin to sexual abuse in the way of the disregard, in the way of the lack of consent, in the way of forcefully putting this phallic object through Mother Earth. And the spirits and the energy it invoked in that room was overwhelming. There was this swell of emotion and heightened awareness among everyone in the space when this issue was raised, because there was a consensus forming among the public that the NEB focus started to go down and the energy in the room started to go up, to the point of this balancing factor was taking place, where we just realized we will not subject our communities to this risk. We will not subject our children to this risk. We will not allow this to happen. People in the room began to chant, "No, Line 9. No, Line 9. They stood up and they clapped. And with that clap began the drum, and I'm certain Carrie was part of that group, because the heart and the soul of that sound, that rhythm, carried us forward into a new moment of strength, empowerment, and solidarity. It was magic. It was a sacred moment, a sacred unity, because at that point it became evident that no one in the room supported this project except for those paid to be there, and even they were not showing strength behind their work. And it was a moment of transition, of taking back the power on the part of the public, and Carrie's drum beat to that rhythm. And that drum grew louder and louder. And in my heart, I'm hearing this. And in my head, da 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 da. It's a Quaker song, dance, dance wherever you may be. So that inspired me to get out of my chair and to start a line dance. And I started to dance. And the first person to grab my hand was Carrie. And she held her drum and she held her feather. And I had my hand this way and another person grabbed and we started a line dance. A line dance that transitioned the NEB chairs out of their chair to the side of the wall, leaving the building. And as we transitioned like this, there were flags that came up. We had Six Nations flag. We had the flag of the Warriors coming up. We had the chants growing strong, the drum beating strong. We had people filling the space with raw energy and the NEB squirreling out the side of the room, being chased by Crystal, who was chastising them with all the energy of a mother bear. And it was a phenomenal transition of this darkness leaving the space and this bright light of love unifying the people. And the drum grew stronger. Carrie took her drum. She started playing. And she went into the center of the room and she just played and chanted and the whole room gathered around her in this space and we were triumphant. There was this rush of pure adrenaline and pure joy and optimism as this new vortex of hope filled the room, and at the center was Carrie and her rhythm and her love projecting out, and everyone feeling the solidarity of the love in that space. And it was all rooted in the rhythm of her drum. When Carrie calmed it down, we all calmed down. When she raised it up, we all raised up. It was this one love, focused. And Carrie was at the heart of it, with her drum, with the rhythm, and with the music. And I will always remember that as the most magical moment I have ever experienced with music and love. It was transitionary for me. And I thought that that would be the peak of my experience with this kind of thing. But this energy followed Carrie where she went. I was at, it was the Toxic Tour in 2015. I show up with my drum and I go to the place and Carrie has her drum and it's just the two of us. And I'm like, Carrie, what are we going to do? We have hundreds of people here and it's you and me and I don't know the songs. Do you know any songs? And Carrie looks at me, she says, oh, I don't remember anything. Do you? And we started laughing because of course Carrie remembers these things. I honest to God, I was so new at it, but Carrie made me feel welcome. She made me feel relaxed. First thing she did was teach me the Nibby Water song right on the spot so that we would at least be able to present something with a little confidence behind it. And then another lady showed up, and so there was a small, very, very small group of us, right? And so we started to march to the drum, and Carrie carried everybody so beautifully because she was confident with the music. She let the soul fill her. She let the rhythm play as appropriately as the space would afford. It's an in-the-moment thing. It is a love thing. It's a compassionate thing. She was empathetic to the crowd and she always played it beautifully. And it made it so easy for beginners to follow. It made so easy to open it up for anyone to join in and participate. The way that she went about it, she was a natural leader. She led with love and she heard the spirit of the moment that she could convey it perfectly every time. And that love, that communion she had, not only with the Creator, but with the people around her, was a unifying force everywhere she went. And she managed to pull out singers and chanters from the crowd, and all of a sudden we were a big group of women, and we could form a big circle and do the chants, and everything came together because her heart drew everyone in. And as we did this, we did the dance and made a giant circle dance, the spiral dance of hundreds of people, because her music unified, her way of gathering the crowds, her way of sharing the love and the celebration was just like breathing to her. She had that love. She had that skill set, and it was magic every single time. It's like the miracle of 40 loaves. She could turn a crowd of 3 into a whole body of people that were in unison participating in this event, and it was beautiful. I absolutely was in awe. She taught me every song I knew. She taught so easily because she was just a charismatic, fun, lively person. She had so much humor and just so much joy and just let's do it. Let's do it. And it was phenomenal. And she kept that energy her whole life. And now I don't think I could ever hear a drum without hearing her in my heart. And without seeing her in my mind playing and smiling and loving it. When she did that, it was just pure joy and love. And I will forever remember her that way. Her artwork represented love. The way she made necklaces, the way she did beadwork. She loved doing strawberries. She loved strawberry beadwork. And I absolutely, she found joy in knitting. She found joy in creating. She found joy in sharing. And that kind of a legacy leaves ripples in the lives of everyone she's touched. And she has reached out to so many. I am in a state of awe still. Although she has passed this world, her legacy is a ripple that will linger on and on and on, because love is like that. Love is a gift that keeps giving, and I can feel her still. And I'm honored to be able to relay the memory I have, that we can all celebrate this beautiful woman, because she was absolutely extraordinary. And I will forever remember her with love. Thank you, everybody, for your time. And I think as long as there's rhythm, Carrie will be there. Thank you.